All right, and it looks like we are live.
Hello.
Hola.
Hey, folks. Thanks for joining us. We're just gonna kind of hang out for a few minutes as we wait for the show to actually start. Um, so thanks for your
We just
patience.
missed you guys. We're so eager to say
Mhm.
hello that we just couldn't wait the other 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Trickle
exactly.
in. Trickle in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Paula.
Finish your smokes up.
All right, I guess I don't need my iPhone anymore.
I'm excited. What kind of hijinks are we going to get into?
Yeah, no,
I guess some people might already know because they got all the spoilers yesterday. I hear the prep stream went well.
yeah. Luckily, my prep is I think still freeform enough to leave people wondering a little bit. But
Thank you to everybody who private messaged me and said, don't investigate the treasure chest. I'm keeping that up here. Just thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Don't insight check Bernie at all.
nope, no, you don't want to see
Someone's
where
gonna
that
get
goes.
grappled.
Uh, I can't believe I've been DMing for like 3 years, I think, and I've had grappling wrong the entire time. I always wondered why if you had multiple attacks, you could only do one. You had to use all your attacks to grapple. I was like, that's dumb. Turns out it was dumb, and it was something I made up for no reason.
Yeah, actions versus attacks, and then the attack action,
Yeah,
and yeah, it can get messy.
it got me. It got me.
It got me.
Yeah. And I love shove too. I think shove is one of the best
Shove is
one of the
great.
best things. As a player, I shoved a villain at a window once. It was beautiful, right? It's oh yeah,
Yes,
well, I'm strong and they're tougher than me, but they're not
Hmm.
strong. So at the window they go.
but gravity.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. All right. Well, I think it's time to start. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us once again. I am Jason, your game master. Today, I am joined by Josh and Mike, and I'm going to let y'all introduce yourselves. Josh, go ahead.
Hello. Hello, I'm Josh, and I'm going to be playing Zagryn Beltune.
And I'm Mike. I'm gonna be playing Cellayace, the drow monk.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So just want to make a couple announcements. So as per usual, you are probably watching this on Twitch or YouTube on Saturday. We stream every Saturday. We stream Best Left Buried from 1 to 4 Central Time, and we really appreciate y'all joining us. We're moving through the story with these folks. If you get a chance on Twitch, there's a little follow button. If you haven't followed us, that would be great. On YouTube, there's a subscribe button. Go ahead and click that to help support the show. Um, we are working on and are ready to finish our Patreon module for next month, which is a pretty exciting. Well, I think it's exciting. It's an exciting contest that you can drop into kind of whatever world, but we played through it here in this one. And let's see, what else am I forgetting? We've got hilarious Twitter run by none other than Josh, which is worth following. We have Instagram and TikTok, and all of those are at Heroes Die Show. And
Come say hi in our Discord.
oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, don't forget our Discord. Right, it's a great place for us to chat about what we're doing. What you think about the content. You can catch some between the scenes chit chat where we talk about what folks are doing when we're not here on camera. And I think that's it.
I think
Yeah.
that's it.
All right, great. Yeah, thank you, Taya, for putting the link to the Discord in chat. As per usual, we want to say thanks to a bunch of folks. So every week we're trying to use tabletop audio to provide the ambiance in the background for the shows, and really just want to say thanks to them for making it and providing it. Of course, the folks who made the Wildmount setting book, which is amazing. That whole critical role world we really enjoy. We're using the not this one. The other week we're using the Essentials kit. Sorry about that. We also take monsters from the Monsters Manual Expandeds. I just got the Kobold Press Ultimate Bestiaries, so I haven't got a chance to use any of them, but we'll see them before this campaign is over. And of course we've started using some of the new monsters from the upcoming Flea Mortals book from the folks over at MCDM, which is a lot of fun. So check out all those things, and obviously thanks to the people that make it all possible. Thanks to you all for watching. We're really grateful to have you here. And yeah, also before we forget, thanks to Mike for the awesome overlay and art that we get to use.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got. Okay, let's talk a little bit about. Well, actually, let's go to our intro video, and then we'll come back and kind of set the scene. Sound good?
Woohoo!
All right. See y'all in a second, folks.
Ah, old friend, you're here again. So glad you could stop by. Come, sit a while and let's begin. The tale of heroes die. In distant lands are stories made with villains most despised. A tale of magic, strength, and blade, of camaraderie and lies. It's one I know quite well, you see. Perhaps you'll find out why. The legends and the histories remember. Heroes die.
Okay, and we are back. Thanks for your thanks for your patience. Let's talk about what happened last time. So, Zagryn and Cellayace, can you give me a little recap of what we went through?
Yeah, Zagryn and Cellayace were in a caravan with a bunch of ambassadors and diplomats heading from the Kryn dynasty towards the land of the Dwendalian Empire. Their caravan was attacked by the Children of Malice, presumably. Although the primary ambassador was killed, most of the rest of the caravan made it to the Ashgard garrison, which is right on the border, recently taken by the dynasty Ashgard garrison, which is now on the border of the dynasty and the empire. Through the connections that Cellayace had with the Lens, the spy network, the two of them left the rest of the caravan and traveled through a cavernous system filled with all sorts of creepy things, but managed to come out the other side, where they met with the guard that would lead them or to help them get to the next leg of their journey, where they're headed towards the tillage through the Amber and eventually to the Amber Crossroads. And I think that's where we left off.
Yeah, we are currently at a camp chilling with Bernie Langhorn, who is a halfling, and was given the code word by the Lens agent, so that's how we knew who he was. And so I assume we just spent a night there, or we're still there.
Yeah, so let's catch up. So it's relatively early in the day when you meet Bernie. I think y'all, like, basically everyone you've interacted with this campaign, you got him to make you some tea, and you're hanging out a little bit at the campsite waiting for nightfall, right? Bernie, to remind everybody of where we are. So we've gone from the border through the Underdark to the Felderwind Tillage, which is like a very rural area in the, not quite the center, but in like the main part of the empire. And as you're hanging out at this campsite, Bernie's been telling you a little bit about the area and what you're going to see. So Bernie explained a little bit that folks are kind of on watch because there've been some saboteurs, uh, likely from the dynasty, who have been causing trouble here in the tillage. Things like burning crops, sabotaging granaries, damaging important infrastructure. And you have to be careful when you're traveling because folks are on the lookout for drow in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have clothes that fit well in the Empire, so you don't stand out quite so much, and y'all were given that before you left. So your gear is less distinctly Kryn, right? You also both have these cool porcelain face masks that you seem to like an awful lot, and I think have been wearing. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, you've got your extremely cool like painted porcelain face masks, and
Oh, you didn't mention painted.
yeah, little cool little designs on them.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I thought they were just ghostly white.
Yours can be if you'd prefer that.
Okay.
I was thinking they were painted, but I think it's totally appropriate for yours to be totally white.
Okay.
Yeah, you let me know. Think about it and update us before the episode is over. So
It's gonna be all white with like little blue flowers on it, like the Corningware stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's. I don't know how that wasn't obvious the whole time. Like, of course,
Yeah,
that's what
there
it
you
looks
go.
like.
Obviously.
And so you were hanging out. So Bernie's been kind of giving you the lay of land. So he goes to you, Zagryn and Cellayace. You've had your tea. You're sitting down. He goes, so I was thinking, we'll travel right around dusk, and I can take you to the bridge, get you out of the tillage, and well on your way to the crossroads. Sound good?
Yes. Now, when we get to the crossroads, where should we head from there? How do we know how to make our next leg?
Ah, yes. Should have mentioned that. Sorry. And he pulls out a small packet of letters and he hands them over to you. He goes, "There's some more details in here, but you're looking for a fellow by the name of Brave Light. Brave Light. He runs a caravan. He's heading from the crossroads out to Ice Haven.
Brave light.
Brave Light. Yes,
All right.
older fellow, but we've arranged for him to take you, and you should know all the details. Just show up, and just tell him you're the your guest of Merrick. Guest of Merrick, and he'll arrange for your travel.
Thank you, Bernie. I do appreciate all of your labor in making this possible. Any advice you might have for travel between here and the crossroads?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, more than a bit. Thing you want to watch out for is once I get you out of the tillage, you wanna stay off the roads if you can. The roads are patrolled, and the guards, you don't wanna be careful running into them. They've been less lately, with the with the war going on.
Of course.
But I'd say maybe avoid the roads if I were you. Cut cross country when you can. And he pulls out a map, and he begins showing you a general route that you ought to take, as well as describing a couple landmarks that you can use to navigate. So he's going to take you. He's going to take you to cross the river here, whose name that I don't remember right off the top of my head. He's going to take you to cross there's a big river in between where you're at right now and where you're going. And he's going to get you there. You have two choices. So we can go by the bridge. But it's sometimes it's a little tightly guarded. It's the Icefish River. And you are you've got that, or you've got a ford you can take. Because he goes, otherwise, we can take the ford, and with the horses, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Although it's a little cold, and I'll be leaving you there. So you want to keep the swamp to your right as you travel. Okay, keep the swamp to your right. You're gonna there's some hills. You should be able to see them the whole time you're moving until you get to the main road. And I want you to keep the hills to your left, the swamp to your right. Okay? Okay, you understand?
Understood.
Yes, thank you, Bernie.
And then once you hit the main road, follow it heading north. Follow it heading north. You're gonna kind of go between two big hills, and then you gotta cross another river. Nothing to do for the river. You're just gonna have to make it across the bridge. It's not fordable anywhere near where you're going. Okay?
I'll keep that in mind.
But yeah, that's most of it. And yeah, I don't know. Not a ton else. Just be careful. The roads have been a little perilous lately.
Tell me, Bernie, might I ask you a question?
Oh yes, of course, my lord. What is it?
I am no lord.
Oh, sorry about that.
What was it that brought you to the light? Were you coaxed, or was it of your own free will?
Oh no, I came here, or I came to the truth of my own free will. I met a teacher, a wanderer, and they taught me about the light. And when I heard it and understood, it just seemed so true. The the other gods, they all seem so petty and small, and the light is about discovery and knowledge, and it spoke to me. It spoke to me right in here. And I was hoping that just because with all that's happening here, maybe we could make things better. See, this land. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask if I could make an insight check to see if he's if he's genuine, or if he's if there's a bit of fibbing.
Roll an insight check. Great call.
Okay. 11.
Yeah, he seems very earnest. Seems very earnest. Like he doesn't seem like. He actually seems like he isn't maybe like the greatest of spies. Seems like very straightforward.
As you can see, Cellayace, it is when someone is brought by their own understanding of the light that we retain them. When we bring them the light via the sword, I just don't know what we're going to do.
Yes, I understand. We need more individuals like you, Bernie.
Well, I'll tell you, the people here, they're ready. Once once you throw off the yoke of the Empire, I expect the people of Felderwin will be eager to receive you and receive the light.
This tea is wonderful, by the way.
Oh, excellent. It's grown right here, right here in the tillage. So it's near dusk. Shall we? Do you have a sense? Do you want to go through the guard at the bridge, or try the ford?
I believe the ford would be safer under the circumstances, and we'll be keen to stick off the roads along the way.
Great. Yeah, that should be smart. So, he's been breaking down camp as you go, and now the horses are packed up, and now Yeah, it's evening, so there's some wolves out there howling, obviously. And you're ready to begin traveling.
All right. Excellent.
Okay, traveling at night. Bernie does have like a proper lantern, so he does have a proper lantern that he's traveling with, and you're already off road. You're gonna have to cross the main road, and then you're gonna go a little bit south of the bridge to find a ford, right? Um, so let's begin. As we're traveling in the evening, right? Or do y'all want to travel in the evening or during the day? It was the evening, right?
Evening. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, can I make a quick little caveat? Can I? Cellayace would have laid out the stones while there was still daylight,
Sure.
and yeah, just like laid them out so that they get
Charged by the
Nice.
sun.
that I can't even look at.
Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
I was just thinking this. Somebody ought to make like drow sunglasses. Like that feels like
Yeah.
anyway.
We can get additions onto the masks where they have like tinted lenses.
Yeah, so that's if you meet some sort of artificer, maybe they can hook you up.
What are the chances of that?
What are the odds? Okay, so we go cross country, right? So it's a little bit rough, but with Bernie as a guide, you're able to get there or get to where you're going. But as we're traveling, I'm gonna want to know order, and I'm gonna need y'all to kind of put up a little watch, okay?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So what's our order?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll go last, keeping
Great.
Bernie somewhat in the middle.
Okay, great. So you begin riding. You can see it's a lot of plains, a lot of farmland, a lot of farmland. He gets you out away from the farmland pretty quickly. Where you started in a little copse of trees, you move out of there. There's a lot of farmland around. You've got a main road to cross. Bernie's looking. Can I get a perception check from one of you?
Yes. Nat 20.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
plus 6, so 26.
Yeah, you look and you're confident there's no patrols out on the road. And again, it's starting to just get dark as you hit the road. So you don't see any lanterns beyond Bernie's.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
You keep moving. As you're going, you can see a bunch of woods off to your left. And looking out, just because you were so perceptive, as you look into the woods, like well off any kind of the main paths, you see what looks like a fairly just the faint shape of a tower popping out of the woods. The faint shape
Bernie.
of a tower popping out of the woods. Yeah. What's up?
What is that structure over there?
He goes, peering out. He goes, oh, I don't know, but if it's me, I'd stay away from anything I don't know about. Anything that's not, part of the village is either something suspicious or belongs to one of those damn wizards. And he spits. I'll get the spittoon for next episode.
Yeah. We want to hear the doing.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Very, very good, Bernie. Thank you again for keeping us on track.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. And yeah, as you're going, the weather begins to change. Like you can feel the wind picking up. And
So we're headed north.
well, so you're headed west right now. You're headed west and actually a little bit south. But it sounds like there's a a storm rolling in. In fact, in the distance, you can see and hear some lightning and thunder. This is going to be a wet ride.
I suppose you didn't pack a parasol, did you, Bernie?
No, wait. I got some oilskin cloaks if you need it.
If you wouldn't mind, I'm getting a little moist.
Yeah.
This,
So
this
there's
one's used to someone following him around.
yes. Of course, my lord. On your horse, you should have a solid cloak there in the pack.
Zagryn will reach up and grab it, put it around his garb.
Yeah. I'll put it on top of my robes.
Yeah. So the wind's picking up, and with the wind and the rain, you don't hear anything. But after a few hours of travel, let me just see something real quick. After a few hours of travel, you can see now it's actually started to rain, right? And it is a nice cold spring shower coming in this evening, and it's heavy, right? Before too long, you do see the river up ahead. You do see the river up ahead, and you can see the land sloping down towards what looks like a ford.
The gods cloak our path. This is fortuitous.
Yes, let's proceed. When you said that the ford would be cold, I assumed you meant the water beneath us, not the water above us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We gotta watch out. Sometimes this time of year, there's still a little ice that flows down through. So we gotta be careful.
Yes.
Make your way across quickly. I'll get you across, and then I'll have to leave you.
Thank you, Bernie, for all you've done, and may you always head towards the light.
Yes, and you as well. So you get down to the ford, and it's raining and it's cold. So getting across, I'm going to need an animal handling check from each of you.
All right.
So as you get into the water, right, like it comes up to like your mid thighs, right? Like it's high. Like the horse is barely getting through this, right? Like it is not an easy ford.
Well, it's a good
22.
thing I got a dirty 20 then.
Nice.
Woo!
20 and a 22. Yeah. So there's
Mhm.
you can, even as you're going, like a big chunk of ice like comes sliding past, but between you riding well and the horses seemingly being well trained, you're able to avoid it. They keep their footing, and you make it safely across. Bernie from the other side like waves his lantern. It's like 40 feet across, right? So it's pretty darn wide here. Like this is a heavy duty river, right? But you emerge at the other side. Bernie waves the lantern across, and then you see the light and him begin receding as he rides
Yeah.
the way.
As I see the lantern, I grab the glowstone and just squeeze it a couple quick times, so it's just a quick pulse of light back towards him to let him know we got
Nice.
across safely.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is now closer to midnight, and you are now deep into enemy territory. Or is it enemy territory? You're deep into Imperial territory.
Imperial
Enemy
territory.
maybe depends on your perspective.
Yeah, we're not enemies yet.
Yeah.
I mean, not us personally.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. We still think we could be friends.
That's it.
Absolutely. Okay, so your first section, right after this ford, you were to basically make your way as due west as you can, and keep these hills off to your left. The obvious problem being, at night you cannot see any hills, right? So you don't have a ton of sense of which way you're going. That being said, you can keep that general direction of travel that you were going in from before, and because it's largely plains, you're not going to have too much trouble keeping direction. Although I would like one of you to roll me a survival check for navigating here successfully.
How's your survival, Cellayace?
Decent. I have a +4, whatever that means.
Well, perhaps That's fortuitous, and you should guide us.
Fortuitous? Come on.
A. Oh. 13.
Nice. All right. You find yourself moving along pretty well, right? Can I get a perception check from each of you?
19.
17.
Great. Okay. So, you can hear some things out in the night, even with the rain. You can occasionally hear things, but you're able to kind of pick a path, avoid any obvious like creatures of the night out there in the dark, and you make it to where dawn is starting to break. Would you like to find a campsite?
Yes, I think that's quite some travel for one night, especially considering the conditions. Maybe we should worry about drying off and travel again in the evening.
Yes.
All right.
And get a nice cup of tea in us and...
With dawn beginning to break, you can see that you're actually really close to this section of hill that Bernie was talking about. So let's roll me a survival check to set up a good campsite.
$15.
15. Okay, great. Yeah, so you're able to find a campsite, and you get a good spot, like right by that hill. You find a decent little cave,
Mhm.
and the cave is a good spot to set up. You could even looks like you'd make a decent little fire in here if you want,
This should
and
do
dry some of your
fine.
stuff out.
Yes. Yeah, head into the cave. I'll cast dancing lights and kind of like send the light into the cave so it's lit up, just to make sure there's nothing hiding in some of the corners or something in that. How deep is this cave?
Yeah, it's not too deep, so it looks like it
Okay.
goes in about 25 feet,
Perfect.
and it's fairly small. Like, so it's not going to be super comfortable, but if you're laying down and if you watch your head, you're going to have a good time hanging out in here.
Awesome. Yeah, so Zagryn will kind of crouch down and make his way in and start setting up his bedroll. And yeah, let's light a fire because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rain is continuing, right? The rain is continuing, so you've got that going even after you set up.
Yeah. Once we set up, Bernie is no longer with us, or is he still there?
No, Bernie left you at the fort.
Okay. So, Cellayace, after feeling like we got some sort of peace and quiet, or at least peace, he's gonna whip out his flute and play a little soft, quiet song to, like, lighten the mood.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah.
Zagryn listens and closes his eyes as he lays on his bedroll and says, Cellayace, when I really try to enter a trance, I can almost believe that I'm back home in my comfortable bed. Some performers, slowly playing me a lullaby. I do appreciate your talent in lending it to me at this time.
Anything I can do to calm your nerves, Lord Zagryn.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
Cellayace kind of sits at the mouth of the cave with Zagryn behind him,
Yeah, great.
looking out. And the mask was kind of pulled up, so his mouth's exposed.
Yeah,
It's extra
absolutely.
weird.
Absolutely. The storm eventually fades away, and you're left, with your fire, drying out some of the clothes. You get a good look at the bright light of day. Luckily, with the cave, you're shaded most of it. Like you're shaded through most of it, so it's not quite as brutal as it is out there on the open plains. It's neat, right? Like the center of your faith, right? Or like a core part of your faith involves this, relationship with the light, but obviously it's complicated for you because like the sun burns, like it hurts to be in the sun, right? Like it's deeply uncomfortable. So it's a weird mix, but you can looking out there playing your flute, Zagryn sleeping in the back. You kind of get as you meditate and go through your trance, you can feel some of that beauty of the environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Cellayace is feeling good. He feels like he's being watched, and that he's on the right path for like helping Zagryn on his path.
great.
These are all signs. He's seeing signs everywhere. So it's like, oh look, she shaded our path while we got here. She brings out the sun now to dry us. It's like, what can be better? What can be better than this?
Yeah. Can I get a I take it we're gonna do one watch per.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so can I get each of you? So who's first? Sounds like Cellayace, you're first on watch, and
Yeah.
Zagryn, you'll go second.
Yeah, and I only need like 4 hours, right?
Right.
So very quick. So this is perception.
Please.
Okay. 9.
Okay. Yeah. As you're looking out there, you see, you could be seeing movement, you could be not, right? Again,
Mhm.
remember it's likely even worse, right? You should be rolling with disadvantage during the day.
Oh, I
But
can do that.
it's okay. It's fine. We'll take the 9. But it's just hard to see. It's hard to see with the bright sun, but you don't see anything you don't see anything obvious. Zagryn, I take it you're going to take the second watch here.
Yep. I guess like the last half of the second watch, so like a quarter watch. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and 6.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing
Perfect.
stands out there. Nothing stands out there, but nothing also comes into your cave to try and murder you either. So
Zagryn spends a lot of time trying to care for the gear and occasionally glances out the mouth of the cave, but isn't really paying attention to what's out there.
And it's been a long time since you've been properly in the field, right? Like, many lives ago, right? You struggled and dealt with this hardship and really were someone that had to do this sort of like, but it's been a long time since you've had to go through this kind of living, right? And it's, you're waking up, you're tired, you're sore, you're really getting tired, you're really sick of bed rolls at this point. Like it is not pleasant.
But not murdered.
Not murdered, right? So that is not nothing. Okay, guys. So we've rested, and what are we up to today? Oh, right. That was the one last bit. I'm sorry, I should have put this earlier. Bernie was telling you you've got 17 days to get to the crossroads from where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So you have some time, right? You have some time. So he suggested that don't rush it. Be careful and really just get there safe. That was Bernie's advice to you. That being said, going early may have its own advantages, right? The longer you're there and blending into the crossroads, the less rushed you are, the more you can be sure to blend in smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
And all you know is this person you're supposed to meet, whose name I totally remember.
Bright light.
Oh, Brave Light, right? Brave Light. All you know is Brave Light is Brave Light and the caravan. The the High Slopes clan caravan is the one that you want to meet with.
Cellayace, you know I'm never one to dawdle, but considering the conditions recently and the lack of traveling in a carriage as I am so accustomed, I believe that killing ourselves to get there is just unnecessary. Perhaps we keep a steady pace, stay off the roads, and travel a little bit more leisurely as we continue for this last stretch.
Absolutely. The least amount of lives taken, the better.
Indeed.
Plus, I feel like we are well adept at stealth.
Absolutely. We seem to be rather fortunate that although we should stand out like sore thumbs, we're masked. And just like once again admires the craftsmanship of his mask.
Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit, Zagryn, when you're ready. I'd love to hear a little bit about what your mask looks like.
I think his mask is just it's the porcelain sheen on it, but it's just completely gray, which is almost funny because it would match similar to his skin tone underneath, but being a mask, it just looks like a mask, but then you lift it up and it looks very similar. So it almost looks like he is posing as a drow, like he's wearing a drow mask, but it's so obviously a mask that he is hiding in plain sight.
His mask looks just like his face.
Okay, great. Great. So it is now getting close to dusk. Y'all want to get on the road?
Yes.
Let's.
All right, and you're staying, to be clear, you're staying off-road, right?
Yeah. Trying to stay away from where Bernie warned us to stay away from.
Yeah.
in
Keeping
general.
the swamp to our right.
Okay. So you head out. You head back out once again, right? And you begin traveling. You begin traveling. You don't see a lot of traffic out here, like well into the deep. You do see some deer. Some deer that seem to be kind of minding their own business, and other animals that are pretty foreign to you where you live, right? Like you've got deer, you've got boar, you've got normal plains animals. There's like a whole colony of prairie dogs at one point, but these things are foreign, right? Like you're used to the land being covered with any animals that exist are hard and tough and are real serious survivors, because the land around your home is, infested by demons, right? And all sorts of really scary predators. You got
The creatures here are soft.
Zagryn points to one of the prairie dogs and says, "Indeed, they move much more gracefully than I imagined. I actually have one of those taxidermied in my study and had always kind of wondered how they operated, and seeing one in person, it's almost uncanny. I'm not sure it sits well with me."
Yes, they
Okay.
seem to be less ferocious as the one you have.
Indeed.
Not snarling at all. Interesting.
I
Okay.
picture it like
Yeah, very much like maybe even fake teeth on the taxidermied one, but Zagryn never noticed. Yeah, just some fangs.
They are
Prairie
a lot
dog with
pudgier
fangs.
than I thought.
Yeah, great. It's a saber-toothed prairie dog, is what it is.
It's the only way to sell it in the dynasty. You had to make it
That's it.
pointy.
it's not going to be cute.
Otherwise, you're not going to believe it's real, right?
Right.
It doesn't have fangs. What sort of creature doesn't have fangs? So you're back out. You're back out on the road. As it's getting to, as the sun actually comes down, you are just crossing another one of the fairly like major roads. You can tell this is a significant road. As you get closer, you do see a number of carts heading down the road. So this is an opportunity for you to pass by or wait at a site for them to go or make camp or whatever they're going to do.
Perhaps
feel-
laying low would be in our best interest, all things considered.
Do you feel like trailing them for a bit?
We'll keep our distance, but keeping an eye on them sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They you see the caravan, or the wagons. They pull off the road, not like out of your way, but not far from where you're going. And you see they begin. It looks like you can see them begin the work of setting up camp as darkness falls.
And
Well-
they're in our way. Like, essentially, we'd have to pass by them to continue the
You
way
can pass
we're
by
going.
them, but you could likely pass by, especially with the dark, without them being noticed if you just wait an hour or two for full darkness to fall.
Sounds more comfortable to me to wait for the sun to finish setting before we try to make our way past. Always more comfortable in the dark.
Yes, and as always, I'll let you do the talking.
Yes, hopefully it won't come to that, but I can be polite.
Yeah, great. As you wait there, you're probably gonna have to wait for an hour for the sun to go down. As you wait, you see them. The sun's now below the horizon, or just about below the horizon. You can just see the little tip of it. The area is well shaded, and looking down at the campsite, or from where you are, let's get a perception roll from one of you two.
24.
As you're looking, you start to see what looks like some other figures down there that you didn't notice before, and you begin to hear some screaming.
Oh no.
You begin to hear some screaming from down at the campsite.
At the one that we're closest to?
Yeah, the one
Or
you're
further?
watching. Absolutely.
Did you hear that, Zagryn?
I did. Quite unsettling.
It is your call.
I believe we're trying to remain unnoticed is still our top priority. Best not to get involved in that if we don't have to.
We are also trying to appear less monstrous. And maybe forming relations with individuals may be a good idea.
I understand. Maybe
If we can offer help.
Maybe we can get closer without letting our presence be known and assess the situation.
Yeah.
If we need to burst into action, I will, of course, follow your lead.
Yeah, so Cellayace, and at this point, Zagryn, you hear it too now that you're listening. There is active screaming. Like, it sounds like something terrible is happening down there.
Okay.
All right, let's try to get a little bit closer and see if we can see what's going on or ascertain what's going on.
Yeah, so as you move a little bit closer, right, you can see figures. You can see the campsite. The wagons are now circled, and you've got people up on them. They've got torches, and they're figures coming out of the dark, like charging at these folks. You see someone get pulled down off one of the carts into by a couple of these figures, and they just begin ripping this guy apart, or this person that got pulled down. If you don't act now, or potentially even if you do, like, these folks are going to get slaughtered.
And can we see what it is that are like not
humanoid figures? They've got claws, and they're not carrying weapons. They look like they're not wearing clothes, or any clothing that they have is deeply ragged.
All right, yeah, let's help them out there.
Right.
All right, charging down.
I'm gonna cast dancing lights first.
Okay.
And send them on over the where the ruckus is.
Okay, what's the range on that there?
It is
60 feet, and the light is in a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, does it? It says 120 feet.
Oh,
Range
maybe that's because you're a full drow and I'm half drow.
Okay, so when you get to within 120 feet, begin lighting some of those figures, some of those things
Yeah.
that are doing the attack. So it looks like there's about 6 of these things. Now that you're seeing it clearly, looks like there's about 6 of these things attacking the caravan. And you've watched, as you've been watching, you've seen about 2 folks go down, right? You've seen about 2 folks go down, and there's probably another 6 left within the caravan.
Okay. Can we tell the 6 folks to get behind us? Or
So
get
no,
out of
you're
here?
coming from the outside, right? You're coming from the outside. They're on the inside. So they've got like the circled wagon, and they're doing their best to hold things together.
Okay.
So
And how
120
far away
feet.
are we?
So was it at 120 feet that you do it, or wait till you're closer?
Yeah, no, at 120 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So at 120 feet, you can see the lighting. Just one sec. At 120 feet, you can see the lighting as y'all charge down,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's how many folks can you light up with your dancing lights?
It just says I send out some glowing orbs that shine.
They have
with
a
the
10-foot radius of light,
Mhm.
dim light.
Okay. Oh, I see. This isn't the fairy fire. Sorry, I got
Right.
confused.
I read fairy fire at first, but dancing
Right.
lights.
Yeah, so you
120 feet.
see him lit up. It looks like, now that you're getting closer, it looks like some sort of horrible undead creature with claws. You see these things. They've got claws and they've got a figure. So now they've dragged a couple of their prizes back from this caravan, and you see them just circled around this thing, like going in, clawing at and eating chunks of flesh off the people that they've pulled down. Blood kind of spraying out everywhere as you're kind of charging in. I assume you're charging in on your horses. So charging
Yes.
in, galloping. Let's actually change our music to go to something a little bit more sinister. We're gonna go to something a little bit more sinister.
The one who's being attacked currently is already like, are they a goner? Or is there a chance they could be saved?
Maybe there's a lot. Like there's some 2 bodies that the screaming has now stopped, and there are chunks coming off them. So let's roll ourselves some
Okay.
initiative.
Goner.
All right. 17.
Oh, baby. I rolled an 18 plus 5.
So that's 23 for you.
Yep. It's good to have this dice back.
You got the good one back. Great. All right. So you charge in. You're charging in. Cellayace, you're up first, right? So you're within. Now that you've charged in, you're about, I don't know, 30 feet away, 35 feet away from the thing. You can use the horse's movement to get you out there. But yeah, there's a crowd of what look like. Let's see. Roll me a Arcana check.
I'm
If you
gonna
know what
roll
this
with the
is.
computer. Which is never a good idea. 5. 5 for my
Okay.
Arcana check.
Yeah, so it's some sort of horrible undead creature. Zagryn, on your turn, feel free to do the same. But what do you want to do?
Okay, well, I don't like this in any way. I'm gonna hold off, like stop my horse, right, stop it from charging in,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna keep about maybe 100 feet from these guys, and kind of like, you
So
know.
100 feet's going to be a while before you're able to get into combat.
Okay. Well, I just don't want them to be able to run up on me. I'm gonna get in between the caravan and these things. So halfway would be about how close to them.
So again, right? Like they are 10 feet from the circled wagons at this point.
Oh, okay.
The ghouls are, right?
Right.
And so the only way you're going to be able to get between them is to like go through the center of the ghouls.
Right. Yeah.
These
No, I'm gonna
creatures, whatever they may be.
find. Yeah.
We don't know.
Okay. I thought they were farther away and they dragged someone away. And okay, no,
They
no.
drag them a little bit back, right? But just a little bit back.
Okay, I'm going to ride, and I'm going to leap off my horse and whirl my at the very first whatever it is. I'm gonna jump off my horse, whirl my quarterstaff around, and try and crack it. Just kind of like
All right,
jump
so
in the middle.
You're coming in. All right, got it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the first one. Plus 17.
17. Okay, that's a hit.
And I'm using a two-handed. 8. 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, you give it a solid whack, right? You crack on it, and it turns as you hit it. You can see like bones breaking, and one of the arms kind of goes limp, and it turns wounded arm and everything, and it faces you. You can see this huge tongue like lolling out of its mouth, and it just looks at you with this intense hunger, and it looks ready to take a bite. What do you want to do next?
I'm gonna unarmed strike, hit it again.
Nice. Okay, do it.
21.
Okay, yeah, that's a hit.
Okay.
Just gonna give it to you. These guys are AC 12, so they're unarmored. So feel free to announce your hits there or misses.
That's another 12.
12 damage.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to describe how you take this thing down as it turns towards you, looking at you hungrily?
Just the other end of the pole that I hit him with just goes
Nice.
right in the back. So the first one was crack on the top, and it turns and looks, so then baff.
Nice. Yeah, you
The
see
back
that.
of the hit.
You see the skull cave in as the thing falls limply to the ground. All right.
And the other one close to me is roughly how far away? What's the next closest one?
The next one is 5 feet from you, or 10 feet from you.
Oh, okay. I start backing up.
All right. Okay. Past your horse, or just there?
No, like maybe maybe pushing my horse back.
All right. All right. Okay. Great. So the creatures. All right. So two of the creatures rush straight up towards you. Actually, 3 of them are going to rush straight up towards you, and two of them seem to go back at the folks on the caravan. So one of these things, and Zagryn, you're up next. One of these things comes at you and tries to claw you.
I'm dead.
So that is a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, give me just 1 sec.
Undead fool.
Okay, great. Great. So, that's going to be. So you, as it slashes at you, it rips a little bit of your clothing, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. And you take 5 points of slashing damage.
Oh yeah. That's 19 plus
Right.
3.
You can feel like as its claws like just scrape against your chest. You can feel this corruption from the claws like seep into you, and there's something in there, but you're able to resist its effects. Another one bites at you with a 16.
Unfortunately not.
Okay, and another one, and the other one. So the first one slashes at you. Another comes in, tries to bite, but you're too quick. You get out of the way, and another bite. This time a 19.
19's my armor class.
Yeah, it gets you right on the hand. It just grazes you, and you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Foul.
All right, Zagryn, you're up.
Zagryn got a 4 on his Arcana check, so he's equally as bewildered as to what these creatures
What could these
might
things
be.
be? Yeah.
But knows that they're nasty. He's figured that much out. He is going to ride his horse until he is 120 feet back from one of the ghoul-like creatures, and he's going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Nice. That's a hit. Yeah, as you reach out, a blast of force goes from your hand and just takes one of these things solidly. It takes one of these things solidly, and it stumbles, but it's still up.
One of the 3 that are close to me.
Right. That's what you're attacking. Is that right?
Yeah. The one
Got it.
closest to me. Yep.
Got it. Anything else?
No. With that, Zagryn just says, "Cellayace, be careful."
Okay. You see the folks around the caravan continue what they're doing. The guys up on the horses, they don't seem to have much in the way of ranged weapons, or at least they don't at this point. And they begin slashing out at the creatures. You see another 2 rushing to grab crossbows. Cellayace, it's your go.
All right. All right, here's what's going to happen. I am going to... Okay, I'm going to whirl around the quarterstaff again and take a strike on the one right across from me.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
17.
17 hits. Yeah.
And then plus 5. 8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Yeah. On the one that Zagryn hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to give me a little narrative, because it's going down?
Yeah, maybe I'll just somewhere close to the head area.
Yeah, okay. So
cave one of these things heads in.
Zagryn hits it and it stumbles back, and as it raises up, you come around with your quarterstaff and just connect solidly. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Connect
I noticed the
solidly
hit.
in
I noticed the things like, oh shit, and then take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes down, dead once again.
Excellent. I am going to burn a key point and do flurry of blows and attack
Nice.
2 more times on this one in front of me now.
Do it.
So plus 7. Ooh. 15.
That's a hit.
And a 15 and a 14.
Both hit.
Okay.
Oh, you buggers.
7. 12 for the first hit.
Absolutely. You hit it badly, staggering it, but it's still up.
Hold on. I almost rolled my dice into the void.
Again.
Yeah, no. It was goblins. 10?
10, yeah. All right, yeah, it goes down.
Just 2 bare knuckle bah!
As you give it a solid pair of rib cracking punches, you can see that you can feel the flesh like the
Just
rotten
give.
flesh just give under your hands as this thing torso just caves in and it can no longer stand. You're now only facing one remaining creature, which is good because it's going to attack you. So it claws at you this time for 20. So
Okay.
it claws at you, and this time it scores a very good hit along your thigh. It just rakes down your leg. You take 8 points of slashing damage. And again, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. No corruption. Oh yeah, no, I got that. I rolled a
Okay.
15 plus 3, 18.
Okay.
So another 5. Yeah.
Yep. They're good. Or sorry.
Yeah, they can
Okay.
hit.
So the ones attacking the caravan, you see them pull one of them down, like one of the folks that's up on the side of the wagon gets dragged down and just his throat torn open, and the other gets hit and stumbles back and avoids being pulled down into the ghouls once again. You see from behind the wagons, you see 3 new creatures crawl up onto the wagons, and it looks like some of these ghouls, some of these creatures, have appeared inside the ring of wagons, and they are attacking these folks once again. All right, Zagryn, you're up.
Zagryn's going to move a little bit closer to the wagon itself, but still try to make sure he's back like at least 100 feet, but just in that general direction, and extends his arm out. He's going to launch an Eldritch Blast towards one of the ghouls attacking the wagon there.
Okay.
10. So he fires while he's on the horseback, but with the movement he can't aim true, and just a bolt launches in the general direction, but doesn't connect with any of the ghouls.
Yeah, you see the bolt instead slam into one of the wagons as the ghoul is able to move out of the way at the last minute. Anything else for you?
No, except he will yell out, "Be careful, Dennis! I don't know who Cellayace is, so be careful, Dennis!"
Okay, great. Great. You see the...
I didn't know who you were talking about for a second.
You see the folks on the wagons turn and begin attacking the folks that are attacking them, right? But there's still a pitched battle going on down there. So Cellayace, your go again, or Dennis. I'm sorry.
Dennis.
I am going to just continue smashing the complete F out of the one in front of me, as one does. That's a natural 1. For a total of 8, so...
Yep, that's a miss.
And that one hits. That's 15
right.
plus 7.
Cellayace or Dennis, after this, I'm going to get you one of these fancy dice trays with this awesome...
Oh, my.
With this awesome backboard. That's right, quality craftsmanship here.
I love it.
I'll send it to you priority.
Thank you. 9 for the first hit.
9 2 hits?
No, 9. Yeah, 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay, absolutely. You've flurried of blows again?
I'm going to flurry of blows again because I can't have this thing hit me again. So 15 and an 18 to hit.
Those both hit, yeah.
I'm going to crack the living F out of this thing. 10 and a 7, so 17.
Yeah, you bring it again, right? Like you bring the thing down. So you're just standing over yet another. So you've got a pile of 4 disgusting, smelly, rotten corpses around you.
I look over at
You got
Daylin.
ichor on your hands, on your staff, on your clothing.
Can I
the
just
rot is everywhere.
can I hoist myself up back onto my horse and
Sure.
look over at Dayla and go,
Filthy undead.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll take the rest of your movement to get up on the horse, but yeah,
perfect,
absolutely.
yeah.
Filthy
All right.
undead. There must be a sorcerer nearby.
Yes, the denizens of the Empire are more grisly than I imagined. And just kind of chuckles to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. You see another one of the caravan folks go down. Another one of the caravan folks go down. This ghoul, one of the ghouls moves up onto the wagon actually, and continues attacking. And another one of the this wall of defense that these folks who are holding the caravan have set up is crumbling in front of you, and yeah, the fight continues. So Zagryn, you're up.
Zagryn will launch another Eldritch Blast towards the ghoul, and he'll connect this time for 6 force damage as the burst of light leaves the horse-backed noble and connects with one of the ghouls.
Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. So you take the injured one in the back, stumbling and staggering it, but it's still up. Anything else?
No movement, no bonus action here.
Okay.
Keeping my distance.
Okay, great. Great. You see the bandits, or sorry, not bandits, the caravan folk or the wagoneers, right? They're responding. The one fighting, one of the caravan folks looks a little bit better armed and equipped than the others, and he brings down the one that he's fighting, and the other bandits. Or caravan folks. The only 2 that are remaining. So there's only 3 caravan folks remaining. They attack, and yeah, they're struggling. Like these guys are almost finished. We are back with Cellayace.
I'm gonna take out and crossbow. I'm gonna say to Daylan,
This may be too much for the 2 of us. However, we do need supplies.
and I fire at one of the zombies.
Do you want to fire at the wounded one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one's the wounded one?
The one that's still on the ground. The one that hasn't clambered up onto the wagons.
Perfect. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13.
13 good hit.
That hits.
6 plus 5. 10.
It goes down. So your bolt takes it and right through the neck, and the thing just crumples.
I load another dart,
All right.
but I don't move.
Okay. Okay, so let's just get a sense of what's going on. So these guys are going to move. The creatures continue scrambling. This one, as one of them scrambles forward, it knocks over an oil lamp, and you see a lantern on one of the wagons where a lot of the guys are fighting. You see a lantern pour over, and an oil spill come out, and there's a big fire starts and begins spreading over one of the wagons, illuminating the combatants really well for you, nicely. But beginning to burn both the wagons and the people. In fact, that ghoul is going to go ahead and take a little bit of fire damage. It's going to take a little bit of fire damage. Okay, great. So the creatures once again continue attacking. This time biting at them. The one that got burned goes forward and grabs the man that he's fighting with, and the man slashes him, and then as it slashes him, it takes the blade into its belly, grabs the man and just brings its teeth into his neck and tears his throat right out. Tears the right out, covered in blood. The other bites the man, but it just gets him. It just gets him in the arm. So he drops. He was holding 2 swords. He drops one of his swords as his arm gets bit, and a chunk of his bicep just gets cut right out, or ripped right out. And the last one bites the man that he's fighting and misses. So that's where we're at. Zagryn, you're up.
Zagryn's gonna, with the fire raging on, he's gonna get a little bit closer, but still keep his distance, but maybe about like 60 feet away rather than 120, but closing in a little bit. And he's gonna go ahead and cast Eldritch Blast at that one.
Okay.
20 and
That's it.
for 9 force damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really well lit up. You see the caravan guards, or the caravan folk are doing their best to fight these things off, but it is still a desperate looking battle for them. Top of the round, Cellayace. One of these things is caught fire. The people guarding it are almost entirely dead, and you only see 2 figures left. Two of the caravan folk left, and you see 3 of these horrible hungry creatures rushing out.
Well, I'm gonna fire into the dude who's.
All of them look injured. So there's one directly engaged. There's one that just ripped another one's throat out that Zagryn targeted. There's one that is in very intense combat with the caravan guard that's closest to the north. And
Okay.
there is the one that is engaged with the person
This
who looked
guy.
like the caravan master. Yeah.
This guy right in front of me, I'm gonna shoot an arrow in the back of his head.
Okay. Great.
Woo, baby. It's 19 plus 7.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Love this guy. All right. D6 plus 5. Woo! 6. 11.
11 damage. Yeah, just enough. As it's celebrating, like it begins gobbling down the flesh that's pulled out of this guy's neck, and your bolt
Sorry.
just takes it.
This one right here, the one that's fighting the solo guy
Okay,
at the bottom.
well, fine. New narration.
Okay. Yes.
It's back to you, engaged in this intense fight. Your bolt just takes it right through the back of the head, and it goes limp as the bolt sinks into this thing's skull.
Yeah.
You
So
see the
as-
caravan master look out at you and just salute you with his sword. The remaining creatures, one of them is going to charge out towards you. So it leaps down from the. It leaps to the one. It swallows the bit of neck that it's still actively chewing, and it turns and it leaps out at you, like almost crawling, like almost running on all fours
Yeah.
as it gets up to you.
Keep in mind, I'm still on my horse. I just can't move my horse.
Okay, great, no problem. Runs out towards you and tries to bite your leg. That's a 19 for 4 piercing damage.
Yeah, 19 from with that.
All right. The other one makes another claw attack at so the one remaining caravan guard. He's sitting there holding his bicep, and this thing just comes through and like tears out his guts with a swing with his other arm, and the man falls just holding his guts, and you see the creature come down and immediately begin trying to chew on the intestines. Zagryn, you're up.
Zagryn is going to fire at the one closest to Cellayace / Dennis, the one that just tried to bite him.
Yep.
With another Eldritch Blast. 14
That's it.
hits, and it's 9 force damage again.
So you see this thing. So actually, Zagryn, go ahead and give me the narration. You take it down.
Nice.
Zagryn's hearing the attack happening towards Cellayace quickly turns his head, his attention away from the raging fire, and just quickly shoots his hand out, and the burst follows, and almost just like the light from the fire and the light from the blast hitting the ghoul almost just meld. The color right in between them is just this lovely purple, and a sizzling ghoul is left where that one was.
Nice.
Yeah, the fire in that last wagon blazes even brighter, and you see the man who's had his guts ripped out and the ghoul both get consumed in the flames of the wagon, and with that, you have saved the folk of the caravan.
At least
Guys,
one
good-
person.
good.
Folk singular, yeah.
The folk of the caravan.
Nice.
And
Can we try and get the caravan out from on top of the fire?
so again, one of the wagons is an absolute blaze, right? Like it is done, right? Anything in it is destroyed. The horses already are inside the circle of the wagon, but you can go over and help the caravan master who's now desperately trying to pull his wagons out of the way. And we will do that right when we return from this break. So, folks, thanks for sticking with us. We're gonna go on break for a few, and then we'll be back after this, and we can find out what do our heroes find at this campsite. Okay, and we'll catch in a bit. And we are back. Thanks, folks, for your patience. We are excited to be here. For those that waited through at the break, thank you so much. For everybody else, hopefully we'll see you later. So just to remind everybody, we do this show every Saturday from 1 to 4 Central Time. You can also catch us on Tuesdays. We're either doing Heroes of Windgrove or one of a number of interesting one-shots. I think this Tuesday we're going to be learning how to play Blades in the Dark. Is that right?
Yeah. Best game. One of the best games.
Yeah, so this Tuesday, I'm really excited because I've been wanting to learn this for forever. You can join us as we learn how to play Blades in the Dark. And we stream every Tuesday from 6 to 9 Central. Let's see. That's the big one. Make sure to follow and subscribe and do the little buttons that make the computer happy. It makes a big impact for us, right? As we're still kind of getting the show going, and y'all watching it really makes a big impact. And do we have anything else we want to say before we hop back into it?
Join our Discord. Click all the little buttons. We got a Patreon with some cool modules, one-shot games, all sorts of fun stuff on there. Check out the Patreon to see what we're offering. We got a 5E. Our first 5E module will be the March reward. So if you've been on the fence and you're saying, well, I only play D&D, well, we got you. So subscribe now. You'll get it in March and made by our very own Jason. There will also likely be other goodies coming out in the near future, so keep your eyes peeled. The best way to keep track of everything is all of our social media. We're at Heroes Die on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram.
At Heroes Die Show, right?
At Heroes Die Show, correct. But I was going to say, don't take my word for it. Join the Discord, and you'll have all the links there. So you'll just have everything in one place, and get some between the scenes, some of the stuff that is canon, is relevant, but not necessarily get the screen time. It's all there for you. And you can interact with us. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you'd like to see. We're there. Why aren't you? Fix it. Click the button, and I'll see you in Discord.
You're really good at this, Josh. Thank you. So just to recap, what's happened is so far in the first half, we had our heroes cross the river something or other, the Icefist River.
Icefist River.
Yeah, why not? Icefist River. At a ford, they left their guide Bernie behind, and they are now traveling cross country. As they were coming across the big first road that they ran into, they saw a caravan go off and stop to camp for the night, and then get attacked by some sort of terrible, hungry, undead monsters. And so we're rejoining the scene here as one of the wagons has caught fire and is now a full conflagration. We've got a full burning wagon, and there is the caravan master, and it looks like nobody else from the caravan survived. So with that, we rejoin.
1 out of 6 ain't bad.
Yeah, 1 out of 6.
Yeah.
That's it is what it is. So you see the person that's still alive, injured, but standing. It is a tiefling woman. She looks about medium height, or actually relatively tall, at least to you, Cellayace. How tall are you, Zagryn? I don't remember.
Close to probably 6'8". He's tall with the drow meets orc. He's very tall, very lanky, but he's tall.
Okay, well, not tall to you, but Cellayace is fairly tall to you. She's standing up there, and you see her begin moving one of the carts to get it further away from the other one. Yes, he is certainly a tall guy. And she calls out, she says, "Hail, strangers! A little help?"
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, Cellayace will get off start walking over. But he's also going to slam a health potion.
Okay, if you're going to get there in a timely fashion, running is probably more appropriate. Not to tell you what to do.
Yeah, Zagryn will approach on his horse to close the gap and
Okay.
assess if he needs to get off his horse once he's closer.
Yeah, so there's
Smart.
3
See?
wagons total, right? One of them is absolutely ablaze. The other is still abutting it and is starting to catch fire, but hasn't fully caught on yet. And the one that you see that tiefling woman at is just beginning to move and is not yet burning.
Zagryn will approach the one that's touching the conflagrated wagon, and is it attached to any beast of
Yep.
burden, any animals?
Yes, yeah, it still has a horse on it.
Okay, Zagryn will try to grab the reins of that horse, still on his horse, and try to guide that horse to pull the wagon away from the flaming one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're able to do so. And you get some distance. And between your efforts and the other person's, you have established the camp, and now you've got this big burning wagon. As you get in, it looks like there's like a decent little campsite on the side of the road. It looks like this spot gets used a lot for camping, and you see this person like looking over and seeing all the dead folks, just kind of stunned by the horror for a minute. She walks over to you and she goes, friend, and like as she starts kind of really eager to see you, but then as she like gets a closer look at you, she kind of like just goes, well, friend, thank you for helping me. Cellayace, what are you doing as Zagryn's doing this?
I like to think that he slams his health potion and he walks over, wipes his thing. And just as Zagryn's talking, he just kind of sidles up behind him, and not says nothing.
Nice.
Probably throws the empty bottle behind him.
Nice. Okay. Zagryn, she's looking at you. She's looking at you somewhat like in a somewhat guarded fashion.
I'm sorry for your loss. Certainly, if we'd only been but a few moments sooner. But then again, if we were but a few moments later, I apologize. The name's Dalen, and Zagryn extends his hand to shake her hand.
Yeah, so she reaches out, she shakes her hand. She goes, Dalen, that's well, I'm grateful. I hate to impose, but with everything that's happened, I would be grateful if you and your companion could help me bury some of my fellows.
I understand. Not the first burial of a caravan I will have participated in but a few days. And my associate's name is Dennis, and just kind of gestures towards Cellayace.
He bows.
She looks towards you. She goes, okay, well, I'll get some shovels. And she turns and...
Your name?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Bridget Bradley.
I wish we were meeting under better circumstance, Miss Bradley. But
yeah,
let's get to work.
Yeah, getting to see her, she's wearing some studded leather armor, some good quality travel clothes. You see some jewels or some rings on her fingers. She looks relatively well-to-do. Now she's been cut, and she's carrying a scimitar at her side that looks like it's just recently gotten a lot of use. In fact, you saw some of that. She has a number of piercings along the right side of her face, so on her eyebrows, actually through her cheek, and along her ears, and some actually down her neck. and she's got some horns that like go up and curl over in a really like almost like a ram's horn.
Mhm. Yeah. So Cellayace isn't going to say much, but he's going to be the silent go over. She points at something. He does the thing. He digs the hole,
Yeah.
pulls bodies into it. And if she says any words, Cellayace is going to like light some incense and, silently mutter to himself and ask the light mother to guide them on under
Okay.
his breath.
Well, so with that, she comes back. She's got some shovels. She's got a pick, and she starts digging. Starts digging a mass grave. And she goes, "I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know where these things came from. We just stopped, and all of a sudden they were everywhere."
Well, certainly these wilderness, from what I understand, are no stranger to their fiends and foes. Where were you headed?
I
How long have
was.
you been traveling?
Oh, I'm. Well, we were heading out to Zadash. We've been on the road about 3 weeks. I've got supplies, a little fewer now. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this other wagon. But yeah, I had my caravan going, and we stopped, and everything seemed fine. Then these things burst right out the ground.
Have you faced many monstrous beings in your travels the past 3 weeks?
Can't say that many. There've been some bandits, and I thought maybe I saw something big up in the air weeks back, but nothing too serious. I have guards, or had guards. She looks at some of the bodies as y'all are dragging them now into this pit.
And for the record, Zagryn is not very strong, so he's like accompanying whatever Cellayace is doing. He's just doing it, or like pretending to do it next to him. Like he's trying, but it's not really
Mhm.
effective. That he's just there for moral support more than anything else.
Yeah. Cellayace would also be like looking at their stuff and what they have left.
Yeah, she looks. She goes, "Well, you're welcome to share my fire. I'll cook something, and if you'd like, you can stay here. If you need anything, I've got stuff available for cheap. It's mostly spices, some hard goods. Need rope? I got tons of rope."
I would much appreciate that. Although I'm not sure we can stay long. We do have some travel ahead of ourselves. I believe if maybe just a cup of tea and a short rest for us, and we'll be on our way.
You're you're traveling at night?
No rest for the weary.
Huh. So that's starts preparing you some tea, like now that you've got the folks buried, and she's like, please, set up, and starts making some tea, and as you're as you're doing this, do you she goes, well, now I don't mean to pry, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, but y'all don't seem like you're from around here.
No, it's been quite some time. We're people between countries, refugees, I suppose you could say. We were a traveling theater troupe who performed for many small villages for a coin here and there, and were on our way towards the garrison when we learned that it had recently fallen. Uh, Unsure of where our next meal was going to come from, we sent some missives out, and well, we're already behind, but we're got a boat to catch, and hopefully things turn around. It's hard to entertain for a living, and any coin we can get, we're grateful for, and we hope the future bodes well. In a time of turmoil, people need to be entertained.
Indeed. Do you mind rolling me a deception check?
Absolutely. Oh, that's not real? I thought that was... No, 13 on the deception check.
She looks at you, she goes, all right then. Well, safe travels. Safe travels. If, at least here, take some extra tea. And she's got like a little jar with a bunch of tea for your travels. I'm sorry?
So Cellayace grabs it like it's his. And puts it. Cellayace just grabs it like it's his and puts it in the thing, and then he reaches out his hand and he holds it out to her, and he's got something in it.
Yeah, so she looks at it,
and
she looks at your hand very significantly as you do that.
Yeah, it's full of tattoos.
Uh.
He just holds it out like he's gonna put something in her hand.
Yeah, so she reaches out,
and he just gives her a glowstone.
She goes, well, that is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you,
You never know.
Dennis?
You never know what the light might provide.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, we turn, mount up.
You'll head back out into the night? Well, I'm mighty grateful for you two.
Of course. And safe travels to yourself as well. May you always head towards good things. He catches himself.
You too. All right. And you're back out into the night, traveling across country. So leaving the road and heading back on your journey. Leaving the road and heading back on your journey. You keep going across country. So let's just take a quick look at our terrain here. So you move across country, and yeah, after a night's traveling, I'm going to just see what all gets up. What things go up in the night? Oh, excellent.
So did we grab a full rest with Bridget?
You guys took a short rest, I believe. Is that right?
Short rest is good.
Yep.
It's good enough.
And we will have also grabbed rope and just maybe some handy adventuring supplies, kind of gone through and taken a thing here or there. Not to clean her out, but just extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has a whole cart that she's not sure she can move, so she's offering things basically for free, right? Mm-hmm. So if you need rope, there was hemp rope, no silk rope. There was shovels, there were pitons, hammers, all of that kind of stuff. So a lot of basic adventuring gear in the other cart, along with y'all could have easily taken 4 days rations on top of that.
Perfect.
We will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Let's see what we're getting here. All right. Let's get as we go cross country, let's get a perception check, please. And I'm happy one from each of you or one at advantage. Y'all's call.
Go ahead and roll with advantage, Cellayace.
Alrighty. 11. That's 11 plus 17. Yeah, 17.
Okay, very, very cool. So you see out in the darkness as you're moving along. As you're moving along out in the darkness, you're starting to get by like a bunch of woods. So you're coming up close on a bunch of woods.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's really dark, right? Like it is in the deep of night. But
Perfect.
you can see that glow from your glowstones. See that glow from your glowstones like reflect back off what looks like a pair of eyes. Not far, maybe 100 feet away.
In our way.
No, like off to the side, as if something is watching you. Well, you have dark vision at 120 feet, right, Cellayace?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually see the outline of a creature. It's big. So there is this big creature. It looks a little bit cat-like, and it is crouched down,
Okay.
and it is looking. But you see its tail flicking, and as you look at it, it's not just a tail flicking, but a number of tail-like things coming off this thing's back as it sits there.
Okay. I mean, the moment I see it, I pull back.
Taylor,
Yes.
halt.
Yes.
Over there. In the bushes.
Zagryn looks towards where Cellayace is indicating. He only has dark vision of 60 feet, so does he see
Nope.
anything?
No, darkness.
Yep. I'll have to trust your eyes, and he's keeping his voice low. I'll have to trust your eyes, but he'll like hold his hand like he's getting ready to start a blast if anything happens, but he doesn't actually start casting yet, but he's itching.
The thing, Cellayace, as you're looking, you see it begin to like slowly creep a little bit forward.
Toward
It
us?
also, yes, towards you. And you notice, in addition to not looking like a normal cat, like in addition to these extra tail-like things, you can see that it actually has, it turns a little bit as it's moving, and it actually has 6 legs.
This is disconcerting.
Is he farther than 60 feet?
Yeah, it's 100 feet away.
About 100 feet away. I say we give it a wide berth. Or leave now.
Perhaps some light to the situation may scare it off. And Zagryn will cast Dancing Light and fire one of the orbs. I think it can move 60 feet.
Wait. No.
No. I say
Too
that
late.
as you-
Yeah. It can move 120 feet. So yeah, Zagryn will send 4 orbs of Dancing Light towards the direction that Cellayace indicated.
Yeah. So the lights go like swirling over, and you can see it Cellayace, like it darts a little bit, and it goes down, and it looks like it's on a bit of a hill, and it was kind of moving towards y'all, and then it started kind of going at a bit of an angle, almost in the direction of travel you're going, but not quite. And it darts a little bit, and Zagryn, you see this now that your light's illuminated. It goes beyond, like just past the little like rise in the hill. So you kind of lose sight of it as it goes right under this hill. And there's a bunch of, the area that you're going through is a lot of like really long, tall grasses.
And we've lost sight of it at this point.
You've lost sight of it briefly. It's like gone past the rise in the hill. But you did see it, and it does look like some sort of 6-legged creature with like weird tentacles coming off it.
Perhaps this is our opportunity to move while it's retreating and repositioning.
As fast as possible.
Keep our eyes peeled, but let's move forward quickly.
Y'all are gonna run?
Yeah, we're gonna run for
Absolutely. So we're going at a gallop on the horses.
Yeah, we're cruising.
Okay. So let me get an animal handling check from each of you, because what you're doing here now is riding fast at night in the dark. So you do have dark vision, so it's not at disadvantage or anything, but we're gonna, what do we got?
13.
13 and what?
a dirty 20.
Okay. So you keep hold of your horses and you go, right? And the thing, you don't see the thing again. As you're looking, back where your lights are falling around, like you're kind of having
Mhm.
him search a little bit. You think you catch a glimpse of it or two in the grass, but you're not. You can't be sure. And you ride away.
Not this night.
I apologize for acting without your word. I can be a little hasty at times, I suppose. Been quite some lifetime since I've seen creatures like this, and, well, I just want to make sure we're having our eyes peeled.
It is all right.
Do y'all want to
Although-
do? Do y'all want to give me a nature check to see if you know what that thing was?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a 0 for nature if you want to hit it up.
All right, I got a 14.
Yeah. You've seen these things before. They're actually popular among powerful wizards, even in the dynasty. This is a displacer beast.
I knew it.
Zagryn will say, "Now, I didn't get a keen look at it. However, I do believe I might know what that was. Displacer beast. One of our nobles was experimenting with trying to get one of his interns to develop some sort of teleportation device using its cloak. I don't believe it ever panned out, but from what I know, nasty creatures."
I've seen the effect that it produced on an article of clothing once.
Perhaps perhaps our luck is turning around, as we seem to have avoided it this time.
We must ever be wary.
Indeed.
Can I make a perception of what's in front of us as we're galloping in full tilt?
Sure. Yeah. You're looking as you go, but you're continuing to. Sorry. Go ahead.
23.
Okay. You don't see anything. You don't see anything particularly notable.
Cool.
You continue riding through the night, and you are now at the point where dawn's breaking again, and you're ready to make camp. So you're as you finish this day's travel, you're by a small patch of woods. There's not much, so there's a little patch of trees that you could use to set up in a camp. There's kind of a low area with a creek flowing through.
Mhm.
That's got some shade from the trees, or potentially you could make camp out on the plain somewhere. Up to you. This spot looks like a pretty decent spot to hold up.
What about here?
It should serve its purpose. Yeah, we'll
All
set
right.
up camp.
Okay.
Do
You're able to do so. You're able to do so without issue, and you're able to do so without issue, and you set up for another rest. Let's give me
Okay.
1 second. All right. So today is like as the day breaks and you're setting up your camp in the shade of the trees. Already this is the first, like, in general, since you've been here, it's been cold and kind of unpleasant, right? And the temperature definitely seems a lot colder than back home, right? There is definitely like a whole different wildlife, and the land here seems more generally friendly to life, or less hostile than what you're used to. But the weather sucks. Like it has mostly been cold. But today, as day breaks, the sun is out in force, and it is actually pretty warm. Like it's a nice warm spring day.
I let as little light in as possible, as much as I could stand, and then I put my hood back on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see you, light mother.
Zagryn isn't quite as sensitive towards the light, but just enjoying the warmth. Even though he doesn't like the light, he will take off his cloak, the oil slick one, still leaving on the rest of his disguise and his clothing, and kind of peel back the layers on his arms and feel the tingle of the light. And it itches. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt, but just tries to feel some warmth because he's been chilly.
Yeah. It's nice, and y'all spend the day resting. You've now got what was it? You had 19 days, is that right?
17, I think.
It's 17 days. So you've now done 2 more days travel. So it's, you know, it's unclear how long it's going to take, but it's probably not more than, you know, 9-10 days tops, even traveling cross country.
We are making good time, Lord Zagryn.
Yes, and we seem to be blessed by the Luxon this morning with the change in weather. Perhaps we can make it the rest of the way without incident if we're truly lucky.
She watches over us.
Indeed.
You do notice now that you're looking out, like along the road, there are some structures, some buildings, some signs of habitation, right? Like there, if you were to chance it along the road, you might even be able to stay at an inn and not sleep on the ground.
Damn it, why you gotta tempt me? Zagryn will look towards Cellayace and say, well, Dennis, do you believe our disguises would hold up to a little scrutiny and perhaps we could rest in comfort tonight? And he's almost like a kid asking his parents for permission to go to a sleepover. Like, although he is of a high station, he defers heavily to Cellayace for survival right now. So it's very much asking permission, not making a request.
That all depends. How good is your silver tongue?
Oh, it's gotten me out of worse than a couple of bumpkin in some backwater empire town.
Then I shall follow you.
Indeed. And he gives a tug at his cloak and definitely makes sure that he is covered and then says, actually, I believe maybe I have some inspiration that can help guide us and keep us safe. And he reaches down and uncoils his flail Liamnor from his side and holds it up in front of him, and it kind of coils up and looks like a question mark almost. And he says some words under his breath and gets some visions of a past life as he casts borrowed knowledge. And he's going to give himself proficiency with the disguise kit that he has. So he has visions of putting on war paint and camouflage. And he's not Zagryn at these points. These are past lives. And one, he's a human. One point, he's an orc getting ready for performing in a circus and is putting on makeup. But just different times he's used the disguise kit throughout his past lives. And so I'll make that with proficiency with the disguise kit. How can I see how good the disguise is?
Cellayace
Yeah, so
watches
you're
on
gonna-
because he's never seen this before.
You're gonna roll a 20. You're gonna roll a d20. You're gonna add your proficiency bonus, and we're gonna pick an attribute for disguise. So we could do dexterity or intelligence or wisdom. You could do
I'll do
dexterity,
wisdom.
intelligence, or wisdom. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's because it's like past lives, past experience. So that'll be a 24. As in that
okay.
20.
Yeah. No, you do some pretty good disguises with gloves and with some face paint. You can make Cellayace look like, a normal elf who spent a lot of time in the sun, whatever, a standard elf. What do you call them? High elf, right? A high elf who spent, all elves, they're all normal, but you get what I'm saying. Like the more empire, I'm just getting ready to sound super racist right away.
I'm not touching this one.
I have lots of drow friends, guys. It's not. So we. I shouldn't have said that on the internet either. But carrying on. So you've got a good disguise, and looking down, actually, there looks like there might be an inn that you could get to. You'd get to today if you wanted, like with only a couple hours travel.
Absolutely. So puts the last minute touches on his both of their disguises and says, well, managed to even cover up those artistic inks you have in your skin, and just like is appreciating his work. takes a point of pride in it almost and says, well, with that, I think we should be able to rest in a little bit more comfort tonight anyway. Let's proceed on.
Absolutely.
So I assume I'm not wearing the mask anymore. You can put it away because I have like.
Up to you. You tell me.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
yeah.
I would take the mask off. That way, if we do get made, we still have that as a fallback disguise.
That's it.
Okay. So you ride down, and it's about noon as you get to this inn. So there's a walled compound. There's a stable. You're able to make your way in. There's some places to hitch your horses right by the entrance. And you've got this big building set up there.
Yeah, riding in on our horses and trying to just not draw attention to ourselves, obviously, but keep an eye out for who or what is about just going about their day. Not staring, but looking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Cellayace is trying not to squint so bad. But it's very uncomfortable for him to be like pretending to be cool with the sun right now.
Yeah. So you're trying not to squint. So you're doing that thing like when you're taking photos in the sun and you don't have you don't have
Yep.
your sunglasses. Yeah, everything's fine about this. But there's no one out and about right now. Well, actually, I take that back. As you pull up, there is a boy comes out of the stables and he goes, "Hello, can I take your horses?"
Yes, please. And how much is the fee?
They'll tell you that inside, but it is customary to tip. And he holds out his hand.
Of course. And I'll drop a gold piece in his hand.
Whoa! All right. So he goes, I'll take great care of him.
Of course you will.
And he looks at your relatively fine clothing. Goes, yes, of course. Anything you need. And he brings the horses, and you can go inside.
Yeah, we'll head in.
So as you walk in, you see a sign. This is the Cursed Arrow. You walk in. There's a common room. There's 3 or 4 folks in it, and behind the bar, you see an elven man who looks a fair bit older. He's wearing like very good quality clothing, and he's got, somewhat surprisingly, you see he's wearing a sword at his hip.
Hail!
And he goes, "Hail, strangers! What can I do for you?
We've just
Welcome to the Cursed Arrow."
Thank you, friend. We've just stabled 2 horses with your stable boy here, and we're looking for a room for at least a day.
Ah, great. It'll be 6 silver.
Of course. And give him the 6 silver.
Absolutely. So he goes, "Well, there's food in the pot, and if you need anything in particular, let me know."
Much appreciated.
Where are you coming in from?
Zagryn will just give him a little bit of a side eye and say, "We're weary travelers. We seek only the comfort that you have to offer. And I appreciate the attempt at hospitality, but I apologize. It's been a rough couple weeks, and I'd rather leave it at that."
Very well. Very well.
And Zagryn will
Do you want to give me a
make it.
persuasion or deception?
Sure, I'll make it persuasion. I think they have had a rough couple weeks. I think
Yes.
you can draw on the kernel of truth there.
Yeah.
11.
11. Okay,
Oh wait,
great.
that was performance. My mistake. It was a 10.
Okay, great. Great. So they the guy's like, "Okay, well, good." And you're able to go up to your rooms. He gives you a key, and y'all can settle in. Wine or anything? Tea?
Tea, please. 2.
Okay, I'll bring some up. I'll have the boy bring some up.
Thank you. And Zagryn makes his way towards the room.
Well, you've done it, Lord. You've got your bed for the day.
Yes, I know this wasn't quite on the itinerary, but another day on the bedroll, and I'm not sure I'd make it all the way.
I understand. It's good to offer ourselves some luxuries from time to time.
Indeed. And Zagryn keeps on all of his disguise, but kind of just flops on the bed when they get there. And it's, certainly not as high of a thread count as he's used to, but just being off the ground is a huge relief to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a bad bed. Like, it's serviceable. It's a straw mattress, but not terrible. So you're able to spend the night in a warm, comfortable, dry room, not sleeping on the ground or anything. And both of y'all rest through the night.
Nice.
When the
Yeah.
Staple-
Sleeps in a chair.
when the boy comes back with RT, I ask him, so when we depart, how do we retrieve our horses? We've really got to get back on the road, so it may be at an unusual hour that we decide to leave. How would we do that?
Well, let me know, my lord. I'll make them ready. Do you have a time? I'll do it right now, or I'll make sure they're ready for when you plan to leave.
We'll probably leave around a little after sunset is probably the plan.
They'll be ready and waiting for you.
Of course. Thank you for your hospitality.
Okay. All right, so
And-
we're taking a long rest.
Yeah, long
Mhm.
rest with the plan to wake up at around sunset and depart.
Okay, great.
Mhm. Yes.
All right, so you sleep. Your sleep is not particularly bothered. Although Zagryn, you have some dreams. Like your sleep is filled with dreams. You see like a weird mix of visions, right? Like there's a number of, first you're looking at like a field of stars, right? A field of stars, and they begin winking out, and you're left. You watch them wink out until you're left with only one star remaining. As you're watching, you feel this tremendous sense of it's not loss exactly, but it's like a sadness, and maybe it's a bit of loneliness. And then there's a shattering, and the light flares up, and as it does, you awaken.
And quickly just reaches his hand out, coils his fingers, and summons Liam Norn. Just holds it very tight. It's the one comfort he can physically hold on to, as they have lifetimes together, and just looks around the room and recognizes that he's safe, and kind of like gets a little smirk on his face, and he holds up Liam Nor, and the weapon kind of coils, and one of the spikes at the very end just kind of tickles the end of Cellayace's feet, sleeping in the chair, and tries to wake him up with just a little scratch, scratch, scratch. But the weapon's moving independently of, Zagryn's keeping his arm still, and the weapon's just sort of moving by itself.
Yeah, that's spooky.
Does
All right.
Cellayace awaken?
So that's for you, Slice. Does that wake you up?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I was gonna say I did something during the night.
Okay.
Sure. What did you want to do?
Do we have two separate rooms?
You're staying in one room. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then no. I'm not going to do anything in front of.
And I guess you weren't sleeping, but trancing, because you're drow.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know what? I'm going to do it. Partially during the night, because I only sleep 4 hours. He's going to take out this tiny little brazier. It's about the size of like a tennis ball. And he's going to be like muttering something like very softly to himself. Takes out a quill, writes something on a tiny little slender piece of paper, and then keeps muttering, puts it in the brazier, lights it on fire. It's like this little tiny puff of smoke goes up, takes some of the ashes, puts it under his eye, does this thing on his face, and that's it, and then goes to sleep.
Nice. Great. You awaken now in the evening, and there's actually a lot of sound coming from the common room. It sounds like
What is this?
It sounds like there's sounds like there's a lot of folk in the tavern, and things are starting to pick up.
Perhaps it's best we depart now, friend. And you can just see the Zagryn's close to giggling like a schoolgirl as he sees Cellayace come to, and then, just says, perhaps we should be departing before we get too many more visitors to the cursed arrow here.
Yes, my lord.
And yeah, he gets up, puts on his boots. What the fuck?
All right, you walk out, and as you head down to the common room, it's fairly packed. There's probably 20 folks down there. People are drinking, talking. You see the bartender, that elf bartender. He's at the bar, and there's a person that looks like they're in very heavy armor. So they've got a breastplate and a helmet with a plume on it, and they look like a uniformed soldier. Looking through the room, there's at least 6 other soldiers, not all as finely dressed as that person. It looks like they may be the officer, and the officer and the barkeep are talking quietly, and the officer's drinking something as they talk. The barkeep looks at you as you walk downstairs, and just goes back to talking to the person. Goes back to talking to the officer.
Zagryn will acknowledge the elven bartender and maybe just give like a little half wave, but other than that, turns his body.
He nods at you, and as he nods at you, the person that he's with turns and looks over at you, and then goes back to talking.
And with that, Zagryn just very, very briskly exits the cursed arrow and tries to make his way towards the horses.
I follow closely behind, and I'm give a little look at, try and count the number of guards there are in here and what they're wearing and shit.
There's 6. They are two of them are wearing leather armor, or some sort of leather armor, studded leather armor. 3 of them are wearing chain shirts and have their gear with them, but they all look like they're relaxing, as if they're set up here. And the one is wearing pretty fancy armor, including that breastplate and the plumed helmet. The room is like there's talking and stuff going on. But the volume lowers a little bit as you come in, and you do see a couple of the guards like glancing at you. What was your disguise kit roll, Zagryn?
24.
Okay, so okay, great. Great. So they you're able to head out into the night.
That was close, Dalen.
Yes.
As you step outside, there is in the courtyard. Your 2 horses are both on the hitching post, set up, ready to go. There's also looks like seven horses that look again like they've got kind of a uniform setup to them. Like, so they've got same saddles, same sort of setup, the whatever, that horse clothing stuff, whatever it's called. I know we've got someone who can give us some horse facts that will know what that name is.
Horse
But
clothing, stat.
Horse clothing. And we've got so you've got that, and there's another guard out there, and he's just sitting on the porch in an actual rocking chair with a crossbow in his lap, and he just looks at you two as you come out, and he goes, "Hey friends, horseware, perfect."
Fun fact, yeah. Zagryn just nods, but doesn't even say anything, but just nods towards the person that acknowledged him.
Do you go get on your horses?
Yeah, I'll start making my way casually, very, not like I'm in any hurry, but not dawdling either, and make my way towards the horses and hop on.
So he goes, "Are you leaving this time of night?"
No rest for the weary. We have to make ground. I'm just glad we could spare but a couple hours towards our own self-preservation. Fortunately, opportunity waits for no one.
He stands up, he walks over one of the poles and kind of leans against it. He still has his crossbow. He's very casual looking, and goes, "That's so. Where are you off to?"
We're generally, this is out of character, I just want to make sure I understand. We're generally heading west, correct?
You were, now you're heading north. So you've hit the main road, and so at this point you're heading north towards the Amber Crossroads.
Okay. Towards the crossroads. Hope to make it there within a week if possible. I know it's probably quite some task, and hence why we have to be out. And I wish I had more time to talk, friend, but as you can tell, we're in quite some hurry.
Make me a persuasion check, please.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna burn an inspiration on this one because this guy
Yep.
spooked me. I don't like this guy at
Sniffing you
all.
out.
21.
Nice.
21. He goes, "Well, all right. There's all sorts of mischief can happen on the roads at night. Bandits, smugglers." He says that word and puts a lot of emphasis on smugglers and looks at you hard. I'd be careful if I were you.
Understood. We're all too familiar. We came across some burning wagons not far out of town, and he'll point back to where they came from and just say, "I assume that your folks here would be interested in if there's any survivors there. We could hardly had the time to check, and for our own preservation, but certainly we're no stranger to the dangers that this road might carry. And I appreciate the words of warning."
You said out east?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for the tip.
You as
I'll
well.
be-
Thank you for the words of warning.
Be vigilant, and
As well.
And know these roads, even in these turbulent times, are well patrolled.
Of course, that provides some comfort, friend. And when they start to leave, they will leave on the road for at least till they're at eyesight of that guy.
Yeah, so he sits back down in his chair, and he begins to pull out a pipe and start packing it as you are able to get back onto the road.
Cellayace takes his hand off the hand crossbow on his side. Mounts the horse, follows Zagryn out.
Okay. So you're able to get going. So you can travel now that where you're going. At this point, travel along the roads is going to be easiest and quickest. Right? You could probably make it in another 6 days if you travel along the roads. If you go out along the, back into the wilderness, you're probably closer to 8 or 9. Your disguises have held up and you're traveling at night. Kind of up to you what you want to do.
Let's take the road for a couple days at least while we still have these disguises. I imagine that the disguises won't hold up indefinitely, but for at least
So
the
you're
next
gonna
day.
you're gonna want to touch them up, right?
Yeah.
And you can do that on a daily basis. And because you started out with a natural 20, I'll give you advantage on your touch-ups.
Okay.
And the disguises work better on humans rather than displacer beasts.
All too fair, Cellayace. I'm pretty sure they're not as discriminating on who they eat. Perhaps let's stick to the roads for now. We've been making good time, and we can keep that momentum going. But as we get closer to the crossroads, or if we notice any particular danger, we can always go back into the sides and travel that way.
Okay. So you head out again.
As long as we have an option.
Yeah, you head out again, and the next day passes. The next day passes largely without issue, and you can find another tavern to stay at if you'd like.
Nope.
No.
I think Zagryn is glad to have had that experience, but I think he's probably a little gun shy and say, if we're going to travel on the roads during the evening, I think perhaps when we camp during the day, we should avoid signs of civilization. Maybe we only get sloppy in one area, not both, if you understand.
Yes, wise. Plus, a good evening in a bed is worth several in the bush.
Too true, my friend. Too true.
All right.
So yeah, make camp off the road, but not in a town.
Yeah, as you travel on the road, today, this evening, nothing significant happens. You see, you don't see many folks out there, right? Or you see basically nobody on the roads at night, and you hear some spooky things, but nothing jumps out at you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Spooky.
So
Zagryn's kind of gotten in the habit of recasting the borrowed knowledge before he's touching up the disguises each day. So when they're getting about an hour before they'll head out, Zagryn will cast the spell and then spend the hour kind of relaxed and touching up the disguises.
Okay. So you get going. Today's travel went without any particular issue. So you're able to get again towards dawn. There are some places that you could stay. Like there does look like you could stop at another inn if you'd like, right? And things are kind of lit up. But you could also head out. If you head off the road a little bit, you could look for a place to stay. And I'm happy to take a survival roll to get y'all a good spot.
Cellayace, can you find us a place that could at least resemble the comfort that we experienced at the Cursed Arrow? Do your best, friend.
I will do my best.
14.
Okay. Yeah, you find a spot that looks pretty decent. Y'all are able to bed down for the day. So there's like a ravine not far off the road, and as you get in there, there's bushes. It's not comfortable, and there are bugs, but it looks sure as heck looks like it would be hard for anybody to spot you.
Your palace awaits, Lord.
Home sweet home. Thank you, friend. And perhaps prepare some tea for us as we wind down.
Yes.
Are y'all going to do a fire? If you set up a fire, it's going to be a lot more noticeable. You're right by civilization here.
No.
We're not gonna sleep.
Nah, no fire.
Okay.
Let's skip it for this time.
A little too spicy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zagryn
All right,
will just like sniff some of the tea leaves in the jar and just say, not quite the same, but at least some reminder that we are in fact, sentient creatures and not one of these beasts.
Mm-hmm. We get into the jerky.
Okay. Uh, next day, you're back out and traveling along the roads. You pass not long into your journey. You pass a pretty well lit up looking kind of outpost thing. So there's like a walled outpost. It's timber walls, and it looks like there's a guard post. And you move past. Especially, do you want to move out, cross on the road, or kind of head out into the off the road and into the fields a little bit to make sure that you're not spotted by this thing, because the roads are lit up near this outpost.
I would think like through the wilderness till we're out of sight line of, or we're confident that we're out of sight line of the post, and then like veer back onto the road once we're a little ways up. So like following the road, but not on the road.
Yeah, and again, it's night, so you can just kind of wander not too far out, right? So a couple 100 feet, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
As you're traveling today, and can you re-roll me your disguise kit check?
Yep, let's do it. 19.
Great. As you're traveling today, or this evening, you see out in the dark there is some lights, and it looks like there is a group of riders with torches coming down the road and heading your way.
How large of a group?
You can see 3 lights easily.
And
3 torches.
how far away are they?
You see them at probably, I don't know, 800 feet.
Do you think we have time to scurry off and hide, or will that draw more attention to us?
I'll risk being in the shadows of a knot any day. Night.
Agreed. And yeah, try to scurry off the road before they see us.
Okay, make me each of you make me a stealth check.
I'll roll with the computer.
9.
25.
Okay. You see as you cross by the figures, right? Because you go out into the dark, like well ahead of them. As you cross by the figures, you do see again. It looks like a group of guards traveling. They've got torches. They're looking around. The one in the middle has a crossbow like out and across his lap, and is riding. The other two aren't, like, they've got spears, but they're not like out and active, right? Like they're just kind of strapped to their horse. But they don't seem to see you.
We'll lay low and hope that they keep on keeping on.
Okay.
We'll hold.
They're just gonna hold there. So they keep going, and you see them continue to head in the direction of travel. They are traveling.
All right. Once they're a little ways away, without going back towards the road, we'll continue on nearby the road, but not on the road, following it, and then maybe 30 minutes to an hour later get back on the road.
Okay. You're able to pass another day of travel successfully.
Ooh.
You've got
Nice.
4 more days at this pace to the crossroads.
Okay.
We're growing closer, my friend. We are very close.
Again, I believe we are fortuitous.
Indeed.
All right. So making camp again. Can I get a survival roll?
Yes.
Or are we doing no inns? Are we going to do an inn at some point?
No inns.
No inns.
No inns. Till the crossroads, maybe.
Yeah.
You didn't like that. You didn't like that interaction with the guards.
Nope.
No,
Zagryn's
was it
scared.
7 guards showed up? Ew.
What do we get?
6?
6. Okay. Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So you set up, and once
Yeah.
again you go for like a little ravine thing as you're setting up camp. So you get a good ways done
Maybe a fire tonight would be wise.
today. Again, you're
The
sleeping.
day.
It is the day. You're starting to think, man, a fire might be good,
It'd be perfect.
and
Show you some
unfortunately,
tea.
unfortunately, as that happens, once again you hear that crack of thunder, and almost immediately a downpour just bam comes in. Your campsite, you've set up in this ravine, right? You got the bedrolls out, and within minutes, water begins to slide through this ravine, right? You're gonna have to like rush around to get your gear just out of the rain, and
No.
with with this rain, it has turned significantly colder. Um, it has turned significantly colder. You find yourselves unable to set up bedrolls, right? Sitting mostly in muddy ground in this ravine as water's like dribbling down, and through the ravine you see water now moving quickly along the base. Um, you guys can rest the night here, but unfortunately you're not going to be able to sleep, so you're not going to get the benefits of a rest.
Zagryn will just say, "Fortuitous indeed, Cellayace. Fortuitous indeed. Let's just rest our muscles a bit and hope that maybe we can set out a little bit earlier, considering the sun will be blocked by these cursed clouds. But I can't wait to at least reach the crossroads and hopefully have a safe place to rest our heads again."
Everything is a gift, Lord Zagryn.
Thank you for the reminder, friend. You are right.
Do you want to get back on the road? You're gonna end up taking a level of exhaustion here, as you aren't really able to get the benefits of a rest.
Yeah.
So you can get back on the road a little bit early and get some extra travel in.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to cut our losses at this point.
That's it. Just wear our oil slicks, pack up whatever we can.
Okay.
And you said one level of exhaustion?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is what, by the way?
It effectively means I think you're going to get disadvantage on skill checks or ability checks with one level of exhaustion. And okay. I'll do a video on an exhaustion sometime,
exactly.
So I have the rules memorized.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're going to get one level of exhaustion. So you're traveling and you're just tired, you're shivering. The rain doesn't stop all damn day, and into the night. So as the night comes out, as the full night begins, on the plus side here, the rain does eventually stop. The rain does eventually stop, and you're able to travel at night normally, but it's a pretty unpleasant journey.
Yeah, no sun to dry us off.
No sun to dry you off, and in fact, as you're getting towards the end of the night, so it's the false dawn is coming up. Mm-hmm. You see ahead of you the bridge that Bernie had described to you. This is the bridge that heads on into kind of the heart of the empire. So you're now 2 days shy of the crossroads.
And Bernie was pretty explicit that there's not really a good way around this bridge, right? Like this was the spot you had to cross.
You didn't know of any, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know we're tired and hasn't been the best day for us, but we are getting closer. Let's just carry on with caution, and soon we'll have a place to rest our weary bodies.
There's some significant woods off to your left, so you could go rest for the day in there, or you could try and cross the bridge today.
Why not rest?
From here, you can see some structures at the base of the bridge. It looks like there's a little guard post at the bridge itself.
Yes, I'm not sure if we run into another interrogation by some of these guards that I would have my wits about me. It's been an experience, as you know. Perhaps some rest in some of the brush here would be better before we have to approach our next obstacle.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, we'll try to make camp somewhere not not near the road. Somewhere hidden.
Yeah,
in
well,
the brush.
well off into the woods. So it's woods.
Yeah.
Like this is
Mhm.
actual like decent little bit of forest.
Yeah, we could probably have a small fire. Probably get away with a tiny fire.
It's
Yeah.
probably reasonable, especially if you go in a ways.
Yeah.
So if you go in a ways to the woods, like that won't be a problem.
Let's
We're gonna
do it.
do it. Okay, I'm gonna roll survival.
Yeah, roll me your survival check. Let's get a camping spot.
15 plus 4 and 19, baby.
All right, you're able to find like a good spot. There's nice like pine needles everywhere, so it's really dry. You've got some place for smoke to dissipate. Like this looks like a great spot. There's even like some fallen logs that provide pretty good seating.
Yeah, 18, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, let's do this.
Yep. So, Zagryn will sleep at the first
Turn their
opportunity
stuff
to
off.
sleep.
Okay. Great. Yeah, Zagryn, you lay down and start going to sleep. Cellayace, give me a perception roll. Now remember, you're making that at disadvantage because of the exhaustion.
Oh, right. I will burn an inspiration. So it's a normal roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 plus hold on. This is perception?
Mm-hmm.
8 in total.
Nice. So you don't see anything. You begin kind of starting to rest. Doing your trance. You're tired. You haven't slept, and as you're sitting there, kind of phased in and out, like you open your eyes, and not 8 feet from you, there is a small little goblin that has opened one of the packs and has its head in the pack and is chomping on something. And this looks like, small little, like small as in similar to that one that Zagryn saw back in the Underdark. Like this is a little goblin kid.
Can I feign sleep?
You are. Yeah, it has no, it doesn't, it's looking at you, or it saw you sitting there, came in and saw Zagryn sleeping and opened one of your packs and began eating something in it.
How far away from me is it?
8 feet max.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll tell.
I'm going to.
Now we're at daytime, so forest day.
Okay. I am going to activate my eldritch tattoos. And so use a little bonus action, go, and like the tattoos kind of go, get a little thicker, get a little curlier, and these kind of weird shadowy tentacles kind of come out of my hand and reach a little bit. And then in one like super sharp move, I'm gonna melee strike him.
You're gonna hit it?
Yeah, just.
This is like a little goblin kid.
Yeah, I want to stunning strike it. So I don't want to do lethal damage to it.
Right. You want to hit it? Absolutely. Go roll me an attack roll.
Okay. That's unarmed. 18.
Roll me some damage.
Well, I don't want it to be lethal.
I get it. You just roll the damage.
Okay. 1d4 plus 6. 7.
Yeah, you clock this kid and it goes right down. Like you just kind of come up, you hit it and you do that like
it's like whipping it with a towel.
Right. And it just like you get it in the side, so it pulls its head up out of the thing at the last minute. Ah, bam! Knocks over. Kid is knocked down and is sleeping. You
all right, I retract the
you
tentacle.
This kid.
I retract the tentacle and then
it's got like
then
a couple
into
crackers
Lotus.
or like a bit of hardtack is like falling out of your bag.
Yeah.
and is like scattered around this thing.
Yeah, and I put my arm back, and like my hands fold again, and I go back into lotus.
Okay, so you're just gonna watch
Zagryn
it.
kind of like goes, but doesn't actually wake up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You watch it for a bit. Eventually, you see the goblin opens his eyes, and it gets up, and it looks at you, and it looks at the hardtack, and it looks
Still
at you.
down like this. My hand like comes out and rests on my leg.
Okay, what do you want to do? Just kind of
I
stare
just
down.
want him to see. I just want him to see that my hand comes out again.
Yeah. Sees. It like slowly crouches down to try and grab. Roll me an intimidation, please.
Okay. Oh, 19 plus 1. Yeah, good old dirty 20.
You hear "Rah!" and it runs off into the woods.
Yeah. My hand
Take
goes
an
back
inspiration. I shouldn't
lotus.
give inspiration for hitting kids, but
Yeah.
if my daughter's watching, you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, great. Great. So you're able to finish your long rest.
Take a deep breath and listen to the wind in the trees.
That's a very cool move. Okay. Yeah. So that was unexpected, but really, it's been handled.
All right, nice.
So yeah, you're able to spend the rest of your long rest without issue. You lose 1 day's worth of rations to this thing eating your hardtack.
You won't do that again.
You won't do that again.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
We're very educational here.
Okay. Well, great.
We just learned a lesson. That's all.
So once again, it is nightfall, and you are ready to head towards the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Is that about right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you begin heading towards the bridge, and there's some lights. There's some lights and some torches, and you do see some guards as you're watching. Assuming you're doing a little watching beforehand, you can see that as full night comes on, the guard complement goes down to one guard waiting there at the bridge, and the rest have gone to a camp further down below. A camp further down below. What would you like to do? So there's torches, right? And this guy is kind of waiting by the bridge. He's got a spear and a shield. He's got a spear and a shield, and he's standing there just kind of watching.
Do we trust in your disguise, Lord Zagryn?
I believe it's probably the safest route. However, if things get a little aggressive, we must try to dispose of this one before alerting the others.
Indeed. Lead the way.
Yeah, so Zagryn will approach. Should I roll to see how good my disguise is today?
Yes, please. Yeah.
6.
Okay.
They've been dealing with some wear and tear, especially the day that they didn't get any rest. So they're breaking down, but there's still something on them. And Zagryn will approach.
Yeah, as you approach, you see again. There's the bridge. There's a guard at your end, and there's actually a guard at the far end. And the camp is at your end of the bridge, right where the rest of them seem to be. As you get up to the bridge, the guard looks up and goes, "Hail, stranger, state your business."
Just trying to cross and make our way towards the crossroads. We have family there. It's urgent. I believe she's sick.
Come into the light.
And Zagryn will come into the light.
He's already in the light.
No, I'm staying on my horse.
Yeah. So, but Zagryn rides up on his horse into the light.
Yeah,
I
Zagryn's
follow
staying
him.
mounted.
I follow
Yeah.
him.
Okay.
And definitely just like hunched over, hood up, just like looking just beaten down and travel weary, even though he just rested.
Yeah. The guard looks at you. He looks at you, Zagryn, and roll me a persuasion, please. Or deception. Sorry, either would be fine.
Same modifier, but 22 for deception.
Okay. He goes, sorry to hear that. My sister, she caught the rot not long ago. Anything?
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, friend. We do what we must.
You come a little closer. And he motions at you, Cellayace.
I look at Zagryn. Get a little closer. What is like kind of crappier disguise?
Yeah.
On.
So he goes, now where are you traveling from? And he's starting to seem a little bit suspicious.
We were attacked and, I believe, cursed. We're traveling from the tillage. There was a group of bandits not far back, and we actually were traveling with a slightly larger party, and we didn't all make it. My friend here was wounded badly in the skirmish.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Yeah, so Cellayace, you can tell he's very suspicious.
Yeah, I'm only doing like a little bit to hide my I'm like kind of glaring at him.
Right.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Yeah. Zagryn, make another deception check for me.
10.
He goes, really? And he steps back and he goes, why don't you get off your horses? And you see him lean back and he goes, Simeon! And he nods at you, and they see the other guard on the other side of the bridge turn and look over and start walking your way.
Simmer down, Simeon, as Zagryn just kind of announces and says, we have no time for these foolish games. I told you she's sick, and we've traveled so far. I'm not going to let something like this stop us from getting to her. You said you understood about the rot. You've lost someone too. Can't you have a heart? Official business has no rest, not even for the weary, not even for someone who's experienced the loss that I may experience.
All right, roll me a persuasion. We're gonna put, so you've had one success, one failure. This is kind of our make or break moment.
15.
So you got,
no, it's right down the middle there. Let's 15.
and he goes, "I'll have you off your horses now." And he points a spear at you. We're gonna actually roll some initiative.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Could I cast a little something?
You can on your turn, but things have now escalated. Things have now escalated.
I'll roll initiative with the computer. Don't fail me, computer. 11. You failed me.
Okay.
20.
Lovely.
All right, give me one sec. All right. So the guard on the near side of the bridge, is asking y'all to get down. The other guard is beginning to walk across it, and he's starting to look suspicious. Sorry, what did we get for Cellayace?
11.
11. Okay. All right, your nearby guard, who's standing in your way at this point, and he's up there with, Zagryn and Cellayace. I got backwards. So let's go here. Let me reorder you. So So he's standing right there, and the other one is down here. The other one is down here, and...
Oh, you mean... Never mind.
Okay, so...
So I'm closest to this guard, yeah?
No, Zagryn is closest to
Oh,
the
okay,
guard.
okay.
All right, so Zagryn, you're up first. And the end of the bridge is towards the bottom of the screen as you're looking.
Zagryn is not wanting to take any chances. He can see that this is escalating, and just takes his arm out from under his cloak, thrusts it out, and he's going to Eldritch Blast the
so
guard.
You're effectively in melee combat, so you're going to make that attack with disadvantage if you Eldritch Blast them.
You're right. Zagryn pulls his arm out, but he doesn't flick his wrist. Instead, he's holding Lirimnor, and I'm going to attack from the horse down with my flail.
All right.
Just this
21.
flail summons in your hand and unfurls.
21 hits.
For 7 bludgeoning damage.
You crack him, so you come out and bam, give him a thud. He stumbles back as he's unable to block it with his shield. His helmet takes a solid ding, but he's still up. Do you want to move? Like, do you want to charge across with your horse?
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to move like through them towards the other end of the bridge.
Okay, you may, but they're gonna take opportunity attacks at you as you pass.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, not if he's not alive anymore.
Okay. So, yeah, so you're able to charge across the bridge with your horse. What's your AC?
It's 17.
Okay, so they both lash out at you. So your horse has like 50 feet of movement, so you're able to get well past them. You're able to get well past them. And they both sit there and spear at you, but they're unable to like get a solid hit. Cellayace, what would you like to do?
I am going to do the same thing, only shoot this first guy with a crossbow bolt before I get there.
Okay.
Take at least one of these guys potentially out.
Yeah.
So, and give me a moment. Woo! 15 plus... Yeah. 22 to hit.
That's a hit. So he stabs up at Zagryn as he passes, and as he does so, his arm's exposed, and your bolt goes in. What sort of damage do you get?
10.
10. So it goes right in, and it like disappears into his armpit. You see him go, and like blood's welling down his side, and he just collapses.
The horse hooves just go right past him as he falls.
Yeah, you're gonna ride through. Again, you won't take an opportunity attack because they already took it. The guard, who's still alive, like runs over to the other one, like doesn't keep chasing you, and you hear him begin to shout, and you hear a bell begin to ring, ding 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 ding, and and I assume y'all ride off into the dark?
Yeah, book it.
Yeah.
Book it.
Okay. You ride off into the dark, the bell clanging behind you. There is activity at the camp as something goes on. Are y'all gonna kind of race off into the night?
Yeah,
as fast as possible.
Yeah, just keep on putting distance between us.
All right. As you race off into the night, we end our session there.
Oh.
Nice.
We end our session there, and we will start next week with our whole crew. Folks, thank you so much for watching Zagryn and Cellayace. You are about at the end of this night. You're going to be about a day away from the crossroads, so you'll
Nice.
have some choices to make tomorrow. But yeah, we are we are done for this evening. Really appreciate folks that were able to say thank you so much for watching with us. Yeah, thanks so much for watching with us. Great, very like scary escape from the guards. I really enjoyed that. If you're watching this week, please join us next Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel for Best Left Buried with everybody all together as we finally get our heroes to meet each other. And yeah, with that, I'd say have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your Saturday, folks.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.